Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Najwa Lutfia Ahmad with student ID 057. Today I would like to present a summary of 10 journal articles about teaching and learning English vocabulary. Before discussing the articles individually, I would like to briefly introduce the 10 articles I selected for this presentation. All of these articles focus on teaching and learning English vocabulary. Although they use different methods and learning contexts, they share the same goal, which is helping learners improve their vocabulary knowledge. The articles discuss various approaches such as games, storytelling, reading repetition, and motivation, learning strategies, and technology-based learning. Together, they show that vocabulary learning can be supported through different techniques and learning experiences. And now I will discuss each article by explaining its key points, benefits, and weaknesses. The first article is evaluating the effectiveness of quizzes for enhancing English vocabulary acquisition and engagement among rural elementary students by Pei Lin Liu and Chiu Jung Chen. Starting with the key points, the study found that quizzes improve students' vocabulary recognition and retention better than traditional methods. It also increased students' engagement and motivation during learning activities. And one of the main benefits of this study is that quizzes creates an interactive learning environment, encourage active participation, and help students learn vocabulary more effectively. However, this article also has some weaknesses. The study involved only 72 students from rural school in Taiwan, and it focused mainly on short-term learning outcomes. In addition, quizzes show limited improvement in contextual vocabulary use. Now I will discuss the second article, Word by Word Investigating L2 Vocabulary Acquisition Through Extensive Reading by Brian Strong. For the key points, this study examines how extensive reading supports vocabulary acquisition. The findings show that vocabulary learning is influenced by word frequency and word class. And extensive reading improves vocabulary recognition, and repeated exposure helps learners acquire new words more effectively. However, too much repetition does not always produce better learning outcomes, and these articles provide several benefits. This study show that extensive reading can support vocabulary learning in a natural and meaningful context. It also provides useful insight for teachers when designing reading-based vocabulary instruction. Despite these advantages, this article has some weaknesses. The study involved only 53 university students from one university in Japan and used only 2 graded readers. In addition, it focused mainly on vocabulary recognition rather than productive vocabulary use. The third article is Storytelling, an alternative home delivery of English vocabulary for preschoolers during COVID-19 lockdown in southern Thailand by Apiwet Kamsuk and Warada Wanchek. Regarding the key points, this study explores storytelling as a home-based activity for teaching English vocabulary to preschool children. The findings show that storytelling helps children learn vocabulary through repetition and interaction. The study also highlights the importance of parental involvement in supporting learning at home. The study offers several benefits. Storytelling can improve children's vocabulary knowledge and create a fun learning environment. It is also easy to apply at home and encourage positive interaction between parents and children. However, this article has some limitation. The study involved only 9 children and was conducted in one specific context, so the findings may not be applied to all preschool learners. The next article is Comparative Analysis of Mobile Application and Traditional Methods in Vocabulary Acquisition by Hassan Alisoy and Zarifa Sadiq Zaid. For the key points, this article compares mobile application and traditional methods in vocabulary learning. And the findings show that mobile-assisted learning improves vocabulary retention, engagement, and motivation, while traditional methods help learners develop productive vocabulary and contextual understanding. One strength of this article is that it provides a comprehensive review of recent studies and highlights the advantages of both digital and traditional learning methods. It also offers useful recommendations for vocabulary teaching. And however, this article has several weaknesses. The study is based on previous research rather than original experimental data. In addition, differences among the review studies may affect the consistency of the findings. The fifth article, entitled "How Does Repetition Affect Vocabulary Learning Through Listening to the Teacher's Explicit Instruction, Turning into Key Points," this study examines the effect of repetition on vocabulary learning through listening activities. The findings show that repetition improve vocabulary acquisition, and at least 7 repetitions are needed for significant vocabulary gains. And the study also found that listening proficiency influences the effectiveness of repetition. This article provides several benefits and it offers practical guidance for vocabulary teaching and highlights the importance of repetition in listening activities. It also helps teachers support learners with different listening abilities. However, this article also has some weaknesses. The study involved the students from only one school in China, so the findings may not apply to all learning contexts. In addition, the number of target words was limited and the delay post-test period was relatively short. The sixth article is Reading Interest, Strength, and Vocabulary Acquisition of EFL Learners, a meta-analysis. Looking at the key points, this study examines the relationship between reading interest and vocabulary acquisition among EFL learners. And the findings show that reading interest has a positive effect on vocabulary development. And learners who read more tend to acquire more vocabulary, and reading activities can support long-term vocabulary growth. For the benefits, this article provides evidence from multiple studies and uses a systematic research method. And it also highlights the importance of reading and vocabulary learning and offers useful implications for teachers and learners. Despite the strengths, this article has some limitation. The study includes only 11 studies, which may not represent all learning contexts. In addition, there is high variation among the review studies, and the research relies on secondary data rather than original research. And the seventh article is the role of motivation and vocabulary learning strategies in L2 vocabulary knowledge, a structural equation modeling analysis. For the key points, this study examines the relationship between motivation, vocabulary learning strategies, and vocabulary knowledge. The findings show that intrinsic motivation has a stronger effect than extrinsic motivation, and the study also found that vocabulary learning strategies help to improve both vocabulary size and vocabulary depth. One strength of this article is that this article provides a clear explanation of how motivation influences vocabulary learning. It also measures both vocabulary size and vocabulary depth, giving a more complete understanding of vocabulary knowledge. However, several limitations should be considered. The study involved only Korean secondary school students, which may limit the applicability of the findings. In addition, the vocabulary deep test was shortened, and the research did not include qualitative data such as interview or observation. So, the eighth article entitled Effects of Exposure Frequency, Depth of Processing and Activity Repetition Types on Vocabulary Learning by Jiwon Shin and Ji Yong Kim. And turning into key points, this study investigates how exposure, frequency, depth of processing, and activity repetition affect vocabulary learning. The findings show that repeated exposure improves vocabulary learning and retention. The study also found that repeating vocabulary activities helps students develop vocabulary knowledge, and especially word form and pronunciation. For the benefits, this article provides practical vocabulary teaching strategies for young learners. It also uses a detailed research design and offers useful classroom activities to improve vocabulary retention. However, this article also has some weaknesses. The post-tests may have influenced one another during the treatment process, and the target words were not clearly separated by frequency level, and the sample size was relatively small. The next article is a comparison of the use of 3 vocabulary learning methods by pre-service English language teachers. And for the key points, this study compares 3 vocabulary learning methods: the keyword technique, rote memorization, and semantic mapping. The findings show that the keyword technique produced the highest immediate recall scores, and the study also found that vocabulary retention decreased over time for all 3 methods. This article offers several benefits. This article compares several vocabulary learning methods in one study and provides practical insight for vocabulary teaching and learning. It also offers a clearer evaluation by using carefully selected low-frequency words. But the study has some limitation. The study involved only 16 participants from the same educational context, which may limit the generalizability of the findings. And finally, the last article is Implementing Fun Bingo as a Video Game to Increase EFL Students' Motivation to Learn Vocabulary. For the key points, this study investigates the use of Fun Bingo as a digital game for vocabulary learning. The findings show that Fun Bingo improves students' motivation, enjoyment, and confidence in learning English vocabulary. Students who use Fun Bingo also achieve better vocabulary learning outcomes than students who learn through traditional materials. And next is benefits. This article provides strong evidence for the effectiveness of game-based vocabulary learning. It also shows that vocabulary learning can be more engaging and enjoyable when combined with digital games. And despite these advantages, the study has some weaknesses. The study focused on one age group and one region in Ecuador, so the finding may not apply to all learners. In addition, some students face internet and device limitation during the research. So, all 10 articles focus on teaching and learning English vocabulary. Although they use different methods, they share the same goal of improving vocabulary acquisition. These articles are relevant to me as a student in English education major because they provide useful insight into effective vocabulary teaching strategies. And future English teacher, we can use these findings to support students' vocabulary development. And then that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.